Hi Trupti, how are you?
Fine, sir. How about you?
Yeah, I'm absolutely fine. Thank you for asking. Can you tell us something about
Yes.
yourself?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir, for giving me this opportunity. Myself, Trupti Patil. Basically, I am from Solapur. I have completed my BCSE in Pune from Pune University. I do have 3 years of my experience in manual testing. While working on software test engineer, I have worked on internet banking project and LOS project. I have very good knowledge about STLC, and defect lifecycle. My responsibilities are analysis of user stories. By using that user stories, create the scenarios, design the test cases, and execute the test cases. I have basic knowledge about SQL and API. I have performed various testing techniques like sanity, functional regression, and retesting. Thank you, sir. That's all about me.
Okay, great. So I was going through your CV. So you have basically worked in banking domain testing, right?
Yes, sir.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So can you tell me high level test scenarios? How will you test uh, banking related software which has been deployed on QA environment recently?
Sorry, sir.
Yeah. Can you
I
please give me, yeah, can you please tell us the high level test scenarios of a software which is based on banking project, internet banking project? So what would be the high level test scenarios?
Okay. In this, user verify that the user should be able to log in with a valid username and valid password. And after username and password, he can log in with the uh, valid credential. And he while registration, he can enter uh, valid his customer provided which mobile number.
Mhm.
That's it. And check the IFSC code is valid or not. Then account number to verify that the account number is valid or not. That's it.
Okay. Any other test scenarios that are coming to your mind?
The the customer having a account number that has a unique CFID for that account, he can verify that using CFID, the account number is yes, sir.
Okay, no worries. See, this is a mock interview. You don't need to get nervous.
Yeah,
Even if you don't know the answers of
yeah,
the questions, that is absolutely fine. See, so first of all,
yes,
you went through the login screen. You mentioned about username, password, then IFSC code, and all those things, right? Then you can
yeah,
also cover,
yes,
yeah, you can also cover test scenarios of account statements, whether account statements are getting generated properly, let's say every 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months, based on those filter options that we have. Then are you able
yeah,
to do any bill payments via internet banking? Then are you able to do third party transfer using NEFT, RTGS, IMPS
RTGS.
accounts, right? Then if you have
Yes,
to get,
yes, yes,
right, then if you have to recharge your mobile number or someone else mobile number using those bank accounts, so you can do that, right?
yeah.
Then
And maximum limit of that transaction
correct, that
by
is also
using
there,
any product.
right?
Yeah.
Then if you have to
Yes, sir.
create an FD, so that also you can do, or if you want to invest in NPS or any mutual funds or any stocks in the stock market, so that also you can test. Then let's say if you have to transfer the funds within the same account, right?
Okay. Yes,
Or
yes,
account slash bank. So let's say if it's the same account or if it's of a different bank, right? Then whether you
yes.
when you can also verify the functionality of checkbook request is working or not, and then the functionality of stop check payment is working, user registration, I think you covered that, right? Then loan facilities, all those things, and medical things, medical insurance, all those things you have to verify. From GUI perspective, you can cover test scenarios on the UI UX level, whether the logo of the bank is getting displayed properly or not. right? So those things you can
Yes.
tell.
Yes.
Now, okay, so you have been reporting and managing defects using Jira. So you are using Jira as a defect management tool. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So let's say if you have to create a issue or create a ticket in Jira, then what would be your steps? How would you create a ticket or issue in Jira?
Okay. In Jira, we have a create some users epic. In that epic, you have to create the user story. The large story is converted into smaller parts. That is the issue. Create a parent. Create some story points. Sorry. So user story. In that user story, you have to create a issue type. That is, if it is a spike or bug or any epic
Mhm.
and comment for that story, user story. For
Mhm.
that way we have to create ticket in Jira.
Okay, okay. So whenever this question is asked to you in a real-time interview, so what you can do is you can answer with these particular steps. Let's say you will have one create button over there, right? So
Yeah,
it would
yeah,
ask you which type of ticket or which type of card you want to create, right? So you can click on create issue or there would be plus sign, right? So
yeah,
in create issue, you can basically add the summary first of the ticket. Let's say if you want to add a summary that the the stop payment options are not working. So that would be one of the summary. Then you will be adding about the descriptions or the steps you can mention, steps to reproduce that particular issue. Then you would be mentioning
yes,
about the environment. Let's say it is happening in dev environment or QA environment or UAT or production environment. So what kind of
yes,
environments? What is the severity? What is
yes,
the priority? Which user story it is affecting, impacting? That particular user story card you can link with that Jira effect. Then comes uh,
assign
yeah, assign to, then
assign
what
to the particular
developer.
yeah,
Yeah. Then what is the what is the actual result? What is the expected result? Right? Those things also you can mention.
yes,
Right? So these all things you would
yes,
be
yeah,
taking. Okay.
yeah, yeah, yes, sir.
Which are the various testing techniques that you are using to write test cases?
There are sanity,
Hmm.
smoke, functional, regression, and retest.
Okay. So these are the types of testing. I'm asking you about testing techniques.
Usability testing and functionality.
No, no. Testing techniques means boundary value analysis, equivalence partitioning,
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah,
right?
yeah, sir.
So,
Yeah.
so you are basically
In,
using these techniques to write the test cases, right?
okay, okay. Yes, sir. Yeah,
Right. What is the difference
yeah.
between, yeah. So what is the difference between boundary value analysis and equivalence partitioning?
Yes, sir. In boundary value analysis, we have to identify the range of a data. There is a minimum 4 and maximum 15. In that range, we have to identify that boundary value analysis by mean plus one, mean minus one, max plus one, max minus one. If minimum is 4 and maximum is 15, if mean minus one is 3, that is invalid, and mean plus one is 4, that is valid. Mean plus one, that is 5, that is valid in that equivalence. Sorry, boundary value analysis. And
Boundary.
in equivalence class partitioning, we have to identify the type of data. In
Hmm.
that, we have to provide all characters are in uppercase. Then we have to provide only that uppercase letters. That is capital A, B, C. If we have to provide there is a capital A and small b, that is the invalid data in that equivalence class partitioning.
Correct, correct. Okay. Can you tell me any white box testing technique that you have been using?
Yes, sir. White box testing is unit testing and also integration testing is done in white box testing.
Okay. Are you sure unit testing and integration testing are part of white box testing? Unit
Yes, sir.
testing. Okay. What about integration testing? Is integration testing a part of white box testing?
Yes, sir. In integration testing, different and independent modules are combined, and we have to check the flow of data between them as per the customer functionality.
Right.
That is the communication between modules. That's why we have used integration testing.
See, in unit testing, you will be writing the unit test cases, right? So you would have to know the
Yeah.
internal structure of the code, which are the methods, which are the functions, which are the various code level that has been used, right? So unit testing is fine when you say it is a white
Yes.
box testing, right? But integration testing is
Yeah.
something that
Yeah.
is a black box testing. It is not a white box testing, right? And integration testing
Okay.
is done after unit testing and it is done before system testing, right? So if
Yes. Yes.
right,
Yes.
so
Yes.
so so any white box test technique that you are using.
Unit testing, sir.
Okay, so you are writing unit test cases.
Yes, sir. I'm not getting actual questions, sir.
Okay, okay, no issues. See, unit test cases are written by the developers, right? Who the developers who are developing the code, they will write a unit test case so that every time when they release, they will just run that unit test
Do
case
you?
and they will see end-to-end functionalities running or properly or not, right? And they will release the code. That unit test cases are generally written by the developers, right? Right.
Developer. Yeah.
Now, which is the white
Yeah.
box testing technique that you are using or you have used till now? You can give any example.
No,
Okay,
sir.
no
Don't
issues,
have.
no issues. So you can tell that the white box testing technique which you are using is nothing but it is a you can take any example. For now, we will take the branch coverage technique, right? What is branch coverage technique? So branch coverage technique is nothing but it is a white box testing technique that ensures that every branch of every decision point must be executed. Okay, every branch.
Check the
Correct, correct. Now let
path
me
of all data.
path of all
Yeah.
decisions, right? Now I'm sharing my screen. Is my screen
Yes.
visible?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now this is a basic program given to you. Right. You can see
Yes.
read x, read y. If x plus y is greater than 100, then print large.
Yes.
And if x plus y is less than 100, then print small. And if, right? So this is
Yeah.
a basic program. Now, can you tell me the branch coverage for this program?
Branch is there is a read x and read y.
Hmm.
Then x plus y is the main. In that execution will be started.
So what would be the branch coverage? Like how many, what would be the number?
Uh,
10, 1,
100.
sorry?
No, sir.
Fine. Let me explain you this thing in detail.
Yeah.
See, first we will learn the theoretical aspect. See, branch coverage technique, what it is a white box testing technique, right? It is used to cover all the branches of the control flow graph, right? It covers all the possible outcomes, true and false. Now, what is the decision point over here? If x plus y is greater than
Plus
100,
y.
then print large. And if x plus y
Yeah.
is less than 100, then print small. So this is the decision thing, greater than, less than, right? This is the decision thing. Now I'll show you one figure so you will get more idea on this thing. Let me just share my screen. Just take on the image over here. Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
See, I have created a flow chart for this. Read X, read Y, right? Then if X plus Y is greater than 100, we will print large. And if X plus Y is less than 100, then we'll print small. And if, okay, now you can see we will first focus on this particular path. Okay, then we will focus on
Yes.
the next part. Okay, so now you can see A1, B2, C4, 5D. Okay, are you able to see my notepad screen with this?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so you can see
Yeah.
A1, B2, C4, D6, E8, right? The
Yeah.
right side of the flow that we have executed, right? And in
Yes.
this 3 and 7 are not covered because it is on the negative side. If X plus Y is less than, that is on that case,
Yeah.
right? If we are
Yeah.
taking a no decision, then the path would be A1, B3, 5, and D7, right? So we
Yes.
can say by traversing these two paths, basically this one, wait, let me show you over here. We try to bring both the screens together, but it is
Yeah.
difficult actually. See, A1, now you are able to see both notepad as well as diagram.
No, sir. I
No,
have seen only notepad
you are
snippet too.
seeing notepad. You're not seeing diagram.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, sir.
Now, are you able to see diagram?
Yes, sir. I have only seen diagram.
Okay. Now you can see
Yeah.
A1 is there, B2 is there, C4,
Yeah.
right? Then then we
Yes.
will then we will go
D5.
for this part. 5 is again, getting ended, right? So we'll take D6, right? And then E8. So
Okay.
all these parts we will take, right? So this is one of the
Yes.
happy path. In the second path, we would take is A1, right? A1 will remain as it is, read X, read Y, right? Then we will take B3,
Yes. Yes.
right? B3 means this particular
Yes.
condition with 3, no, right? And then 5 we will come.
Yeah.
Then we will take D7, that is X plus Y is less than 100 and no, right? So you can see
Yes.
we took two paths, right? One was this particular yes,
Yes.
one was this particular no. And so you can consider
Yeah.
branch coverage to be 2. In both these paths,
Yes.
almost the entire flow of the diagram of that read XY, read Y, that program got covered, right? So branch coverage would be 2 over here.
Yes. Sir.
Simple. Now you are able to understand, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Right. Okay. What is calculation based testing?
Yes. In calculation based testing, we have to check the calculation is working fine or not. In that, in internet banking, there is a credit and debit. In that scenario, we have to use the calculation based testing. That is credit. In credit, we have to add any numbers or a digit. That is actually this calculation is performing right or not.
Hmm.
And also in debit transaction,
Hmm. Yes, yes, please proceed.
yes.
Right. So with respect to loan, with respect to calculations based testing, so you can give some example as well. Let's say if some loan is to be calculated with respect to the rate of interest, or some FD amount is to be calculated with respect to rate of interest. So what all things you will explain. So that kind of calculation based testing you would be doing.
Yes.
Do you do database testing?
Yes, sir. For the checking only transaction purpose, we have to do database testing.
So how will you perform
Transaction,
database?
we have to check the history of the transaction
History of the
by using
transaction.
this. Yeah.
Okay. What other things you will test while doing database testing?
if there is a particular employee, there we have to do the database testing for that calculate particular table. In that table, we have to calculate the max salary of that particular employee by using max salary.
Mhm. Okay, maximum salary of an employee. You are taking some
Yeah.
example. Okay, but
Yes, sir.
how will you do database testing? How will you do? Like you will be firing SQL queries, right? You will be
Yes,
having
sir.
some
Yes.
stored procedures. You will be having some ready-made SQL scripts, which would generate the number of records, let's say number of users, and then you will be testing them, right?
Yes. Yes.
These things you can explain in an interview. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, okay, Trupti, I'm done with the interview. Do you have any questions for me?
Y- Yes, sir. What about my for project related questions?
Project.
How I explain the latest bug or latest defect in my in that internet banking project? How can I answer this question?
Okay. So you mean to say when interviewer will ask you a question of any acknowledgement or any good defect that you have found in your application. So which is the defect
Yes.
that you can tell to them? Okay. So internet banking application is there. So there can be many defects. Let's say uh, as when you are when you are trying to download a statement of last 3 months or last 6 months, so it is giving you an error, right? So that you can tell in the interview. Or you can also tell like that you are trying to keep some FD with respect to leap year, right? Or your date of after 1 year or 2 year was getting completed on 29th of February of 2024, or leap year, anything you can take, 2020.
Yeah.
Then it was giving some error. So this kind of scenarios you can give while raising, while telling in the interviews with respect to internet banking application, right?
Okay.
These things you can
Yes.
explain, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh, And sir, one more question.
Mhm.
How to answer about examples like priority and severity? I am a little bit confused about that.
Okay.
Can I take one example that is login with the login issue with functionality,
Mhm.
like log username and password is that is high priority and high severity in
Okay.
that issue in login functionality,
Mhm.
that example.
Okay.
But how actually I have to tell about that priority and severity, that type question, sir.
Okay. Now let's say if someone is asking you about to give the example of a defect with high severity and high priority, right? So we will see
Yeah.
all the categories now one by one. High severity, high priority means the login itself is not working. For example, you have entered correct username, correct password, still login is not working. So that is high severity, high priority.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's move to the
Yeah.
next category. High severity,
Yeah.
but priority is low. Okay. Now,
Yeah.
in that login screen, there is a change password functionality. Okay.
Yes.
Which the
Yes.
client is not knowing. Okay. Now, for
Yeah.
example, now it is 11 p.m., right? Client would be, it
Yeah.
is August month, 11 p.m. Client would be using this particular functionality of change password after 3 months. That is in November, they might be using it, right? So if it is not
Yes.
working for you, so that is fine. It gives some exception, so severity would be high because it is not working. But priority at the same time would be low because it is not going to impact the client or the customer or the end user. They are as such going to work on that particular piece of code after, or they are going to use that particular piece of code after November, right? So that is high severity, low priority. Now coming to the next category, low severity and high priority. So let's say on that login screen, the logo of the
Yeah.
application, or there is some spelling mistake on that application. So that would be low severity,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now if
And
it's a
at
login
that,
screen, sorry to interrupt. If it's a login screen, so severity will be low, but priority will be high because it's a spelling mistake on the login screen itself. Now let's take
okay.
some particular page of the application which is not being much used by the end user. And in that page,
Yeah.
spelling mistake is there. So low severity, low priority.
Okay.
Then
Yes, sir. Thank you.
last example is, sorry, no. Okay, so we
It's
discussed about logo, that was low severity, high priority, and spelling mistake is low severity, low priority. Done. Okay. Now anything, any confusion?
yeah. I have confusion about there is a spelling mistake in company name.
Hmm.
That is the high priority, high severity,
No.
right?
That is low severity, high priority. Because if there is a spelling mistake, let's say you consider which e-commerce website you are using for shopping. Are you using Amazon? Are you using Flipkart? Which application you are using?
Flipkart, sir.
Flipkart. Okay. Now imagine you want to purchase some dress on Flipkart. Now, on one fine day, when you open that website, the spelling mistake was there in the Flipkart. Instead of Flipkart, it was displayed as Flipart. K is missing from the spelling mistake. Still, you are able to
Yeah.
purchase your dress. You are able to do all your transaction. That particular spelling mistake is not impacting you. So priority is high because the branding, the logo is getting,
Business.
the branding of the company is getting impacted. But severity
Yeah.
will be low because it is not impacting you, right? So high priority,
Yeah.
low severity.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much,
Yes, sir.
Trupti, for coming on our channel, and all the best for
Yeah.
your career.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
Yeah.
please share interview questions with us whenever you go to the interview, right? And all
Yeah.
the best for your career. I'm sure you will get selected very soon for the job.
Yeah. And sir, one more question. How rating about that interview for me?
Okay, so your
What
interview
the
was actually, it was not so bad. It was not so good at actually, but it was average. It was medium,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So you have to
Yes.
improve, maybe on giving answers. You have the knowledge. I'm sure you have the knowledge,
Yeah.
but somehow you're not able to speak up. So that
Yeah.
nervousness is there, or you're getting shy maybe. So those things you have to work on. You have the knowledge, definitely, no doubt in that. You have worked in the manual testing, you have worked in database
Yeah.
testing. Now you have to learn about how to explain these things in an interview. You have to improve your presentation skills.
Yes, sir.
Okay, rest all
Yes.
looks really good. Communication skill was good.
Yeah.
You were able to
Yeah.
answer, then you were able to make eye to eye contact, right? Everything else is good. Don't worry about those things. There are just certain things you need to work on.
Yes, sir.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah, thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.